So Dan, jumping to a whole other area of your photography with kids, what are some good tips for getting great photographs of children?
Well, that's a great question. I came to photographing kids by accident. I had a neighbor with kids who said, "Do you photograph kids?" And I said, "No." And she said, "I'm just bringing them over." And so she brought her kids over. I said, "Just I'll borrow them for 45 minutes and I'll shoot what I want." And I did, and that's how I got rolling in that genre, which to me was a complete surprise. If you'd asked me 10 years ago, would you be photographing kids, I would have said probably not. Or shooting kids as a photographer is a really wonderful experience because depending on the age, most kids don't have a sense of visual identity. Right. So they don't know they have a good side and a bad side. They're not concerned about the way their chin looks or their hair. They are the way they are. They're natural, which is very different than a lot of adults that you end up photographing because we've had 30, 40, 50 years to develop an identity of how we think we look good.
Yeah.
So with kids, I find it very easy. But there's a couple of things that can really help you, and that is you have to think like a kid. If I approach someone who's 2.5 feet tall, it's a kind of an intimidating thing. So it depends on how you approach. It depends on the dialogue that you have with them. And kids are very inquisitive. So when I initially go to do a kid shoot, I spend a lot of time sitting on the floor with my equipment, and the kids love the equipment and they want to run their hands over it, they want to look through it, they want to see it. It gives them an idea of what's going to happen, and you're basically immediately building some sort of conversational bond with the kids. Once you've photographed a specific person or kid or kids over a period of time, every time you go back, that initial experiment that you had or that initial conversation is just an accepted part of the plan. And so you can exponentially increase, I think, the quality of your work the more times you go back and photograph the same kids. And kids are great. In a 45-minute time span, they will laugh, they'll cry, they'll fall down, and again, it's all right in front of me. They're not hiding anything. Kids will tell me their deepest secret and cry at 5 minutes after meeting them, and that, in terms of photography, is a really powerful thing to be able to experience with them.
Absolutely.
Be sure to subscribe now to stay updated on my show, and we'll give you tips and insight to keep advancing your photography. Also, check out our guests' website for a closer look at their work. Tune in to our next episode of Advancing Your Photography for an inside look at another photographer's world. Until then, this is Marc Silber reminding you to get out and capture your own images of life.